Hey guys, Dell here from Dell's Rigging and Crane Tips. Yeah. What up, fam? What up, Crane Tip fam? What up, Brothers of the Hook? What's going on? Checking in. Hope you're doing good. Shout out to my 900 subscribers. Yeah. There's 900 dudes just going, yeah, right now. It's probably not. But anyway, shout out to you guys. Anyway, let me just make some shout outs. I'll bring you in. Bring you in. Here we are here. Shout out to Karen Gray. True, Karen. She's on the hook somewhere. Shout out to just got my one-way ticket to Oz. Can I get a shout out? Yeah, man. Shout out to Tuitara Taniwha. Shout out, bro. Coming to Oz, man. Oz is great. Heaps of opportunity, heaps of money. Embrace the culture. It's a good place. I love it. Gareth O'Donnell, yes, good tips. He got warm fuzzies when I talked about pushing the radio button in and leaving it for half a second before you start talking. Great tip. Danish Farnham, oil and gas rigs. David Schumer, Marshall Smith, all the subscribers. Yeah. Anyway, what's going on anyway? What's going on? Anyway, one of my subscribers, Ruben, and I was already about to do this as a crane tip, so I'm going to do 2 videos of it. But today, this is for you, Ruben Hales, I think your name is. Work politics. Tips on work politics. Work politics are heavy, man. And on my second video, I'm going to do how you know you're in a toxic company. Oh man, crane yards are renowned for it. But anyway, so we've got work politics. Now I've been in heaps of places where there's kind of work politics. My first company I was in, my boss was kind of like a dictator, man. He was like a Nazi dictator. He would go around the yard. And there's pros and cons to that. The pros was everything was immaculate and we had to work hard to keep it immaculate. There was order to everything, so there was no like disorganization or anything like that. So that was good. But yeah, it was a Nazi driven yard. Like he kept he didn't miss anything. But also in saying that, it's his right hand man was a brown nose. And oh man, if you've got a right hand man who's a brown nose or a leading hand who's a brown nose, nothing gets past him. And with hierarchies that we all have in all our companies, there's always the guys at the top and the guys at the bottom. I remember he would do stuff to diminish me. If I come up with a good idea or something, he would do everything he could to, stop it. I remember even like set me up a couple of times, that asshole, I look back, I knew he set me up sometimes just so he could look like the man. And so that wasn't nice either. But I left that place. And then when I first came to Australia, I had a boss who was completely the opposite. He was laid back, nothing really affected him. No one really got in his ear. He just wanted you to do your job and go home. And so that was great. There's no work politics. There was a guy there who would always blame me for stuff. He was like notorious because I wouldn't say anything. I'd just do my job and go home. And so since I didn't say anything, that gave him the green light. He could say whatever he wanted about me. And so that was partially my fault. And with the tips I've got with you today, I can tell you how to deal with that. Then I went up north, central Queensland, and that was a funny place. That was the boss. He was kind of there, and then he had his son at the helm, and his son was there. And that's a funny thing when you've got the boss's son there, because he can pretty much do anything he wants. It's kind of like a bit of unearned power when the boss's son runs a place. Like he's only sort of in that position because he's the boss's son. And then if you offend him, he's got the power to shun you and get you off cranes that you were on, And then he's easily influenced by people who do everything he says and brown nose him again. But there is a thing about being a brown nose. At the end of the day, if you're a brown nose, guess what? Your boss doesn't really respect you. He doesn't. You may think he does, and he may give you things because everyone likes a brown nose. Like, I mean, if I had some dude hanging around me doing everything I said, yeah, it would be nice. But you end up not respecting them, and you can treat them like shit because they're going to be a brown nose anyway. So it's not a good route to go, the old brown nose way. You can be on the same path as your boss in your goals without being like aggressively brown nosy, like aggressively in your boss's crutch. You know what I mean? And that's what some people are, and it's cringy. It's like, oh, bro, how can you do that, man? How can you not go to your kid's birthday because you love your boss so much? Like, come on, man. Like, it's cringeworthy. So that was that, and then I've been at another company where everyone was happy with their job, and part of it was everyone had their own crane, you know. And I've been in a few jobs where they play musical cranes, and you go in and out of cranes depending on who you are and how you treat other people and stuff like that, and who you're talking to in the office and stuff like that. And then I've had this job where everyone had their own crane, so everyone was happy. You know, people were fighting for a few and stuff like that, so everyone was happy. So the biggest thing, anyway, is that there's work politics, whether you like it or not. But here's a few tips, Ruben, that I can give you through, because I've been in about 10 companies all up, give or take 10 companies, so I've seen it all, man. I've seen it all. But here's what works, and here's what doesn't work. But here's what works. The first thing is you need to communicate how you feel to people. You need to stop things in their track, all right? So the first thing is you need to communicate if there's a problem. And that's the number one thing that people don't do, man. They whinge, they moan about someone, they complain about them, they'll tell every dog under the sun, but they don't address the problem. And I've been guilty of this, man, because it sucks. You don't want to hit people up. You don't want that conflict. I hate conflict. I don't want to have a potential argument with someone. No way. That's the last thing. But if you want to change things and if you want to fix something, that's what you have to do. So take some courage and address it. And how you address it is I have a 3-time rule. All right. If someone doesn't fuel my crane up after using it, once I let it go. Twice I'm like, okay, this is annoying. 3 times I hit them up. The 3-time rule. If someone's talking shit about me, I hear about it once. I'm like, okay, yeah. Someone talks shit about me again. I'm like, oh, all right. 3rd time I hit them up. Make this your rule, your 3-time rule. If someone does it on the 3rd time, you hit them up. All right. And the brilliant thing to this step is that since you've already jotted it down twice before, you've got a history of it. You've got a history of it happening. So you can go up to them and say, I've noticed that you've done this 3 times now. You've done it then, and now you've done it now. And so there's no way they can wiggle out of it. You know, if they're being passive aggressive about it, there's no way they can go, nah, it wasn't me. Nah, not me, man. It's like you've documented it 3 times. You know, and he knows that he's done it this 3 times. And so now you can hit him up and he can't get away from it. And then you can go from there. Now, when have hit people up about things they do annoying or rumours they've started or not doing things with my crane or telling the boss this and that, it's always worked out for the better. And I've always become good mates with them after that. Or if not good mates, the problem's been sorted. Now, another good thing with communication, make sure you're in communication with your boss. You know what I mean? Make sure you're talking to him just one-on-one, not with the brown nose of your company there, or not with the manager that's making everything difficult. Talk to your boss one-on-one, and I recommend doing this at least once a week. Go into his office and just you and him alone, just have a chat about what's happening, how you're traveling. Are you happy with this? You know, and sure enough, you might hear a rumor or you might hear something that some other dudes said something about you, and you can rectify and defend yourself. And that's what you want to be able to do, is defend yourself. When I had that dude who I'd just go to work and say nothing and do my work and go home, and he had a green light of saying stuff about me, in that time I should have hit him up, or I should have been talking to the boss regular, because otherwise they've just got this fake image of you that's made up by guys who hate you, or guys who are just negative, and they feel like you're a threat. All right, so always talk to your boss on a weekly basis. And number 2, hit people up. 3-time rule. All right. The next thing I can say for you, if you're going into a new company, is don't be a threat. Don't be threatening straight away. What happens with cranies is when a new person starts, it's threatening to their job, and they do it automatically. Oh, they're going to come steal my job. They're going to grab my crane. Oh, who's this new guy? What does he know? He doesn't know anything. And if you're threatening at the same time, if you're walking around or saying people don't know shit straight away and being too serious, they're going to try to chop you down, man. They're going to work hard to chop you down. And I've been guilty of this. So don't be too threatening. Make fun of yourself. Try to be one of the boys. Help people out. You know, head down, bum up. Don't be too threatening. Let them know that you're just a human as well. You know, tell them about your family. Oh, this dude's just a human just like me. You know what I mean? 4th thing is be honest. Always be honest. If you ever fuck up and you can't hide it 100%, I wouldn't recommend that. Let your boss know straight away that you fucked up. All right? Let him know that you fucked up. Now, what happens with this is you've got a history of coming clean and being honest to your boss. As soon as you hide something and your boss finds out, your rating and honesty in his mind gets chopped down in half, and even more than that. And so when someone says a rumor about you at work and the boss hears it, he's going to go, oh yeah, well that'd be right, because he's lied to me before and he's been dishonest. Yeah, so yeah, he would be like that. Yep. I believe the other guy. And so having a dishonest history to your boss doesn't help you, especially when there's work politics involved. Especially when you've got an evil manager, or if you've got a couple of guys spreading rumors about you, and there's a whole other company there who know you. If they know you as an honest person, honest, work hard person, and you've 100% proved that with history, because you come clean about your fuck ups, you come clean about damaging stuff, and you've always been honest, and there's a history of it, people are going to believe you more than the dog people who are dogging you, or starting rumors about you. Or the boss, if the manager says, oh yeah, he's this, it's like, well, he's never proven that to me, that he's been dishonest, always like that. So always be honest. Always come clean with your stuff ups, man. It's really important, man, because then the boss has this automatic recall. He's just going, oh yeah, well, he's lied to me before in the past, so yeah, yep, he's that type of guy. He's a liar. He doesn't come clean. He's done it twice before. So always be honest. That helps you. Don't be a threat. Another one is never say you're going anywhere. If your haters at work know you're going somewhere, they're going to tell you. They're going to tell the boss, oh, he's going somewhere. You're going to lose out inductions to different site. If you get a new crane, you're not going to get on that crane because your boss isn't going to waste his time on you. So never utter the words out of your mouth at work any time that you're leaving, or you're disgruntled, or you want to go anywhere, because rumours in a crane yard, they spread real quick. We'll get back to your boss. You won't get work, you won't get opportunities, you won't get inductions, and then you'll be in the dog box for until you can convince your boss you're not leaving anywhere. So the only time I say I'm leaving anywhere is when it's on my resignation, when I'm leaving. That's the only time that comes out of my mouth. Never say you're leaving a company, ever, because it works in favour for the politics or the people dogging you. So I hope this helps, Ruben. Communicate, hit people up. The 3-time rule, all right? The 3rd time, hit them up. You've got a history of them doing it. Hit them up. Stop the rumours, stop the people. Passive aggressive don't like dominant lying to hit people up. And if you do that, they'll go, whoa, this dude, okay, he's off my list for making rumors about, and it's worked for me. Don't be a threat, be one of the boys. Don't pipe up too much, and be honest. All right. Another one there is don't take offense, man. Don't get offended by anything, get worked up by someone, or especially don't let the person who's trying to work you up see that you're worked up, because then they've won. All right? Then they've won. Cool, calm, collected. Go punch a boxing bag after work or something. But don't let them win. So that's what I can say, Ruben. Communicate. Talk to your boss on a weekly basis, even a daily basis. You know what I mean? Defend yourself. Always defend yourself. Don't push people, don't be aggressive, but defend yourself. If you didn't do something, tell people you didn't do it. Always defend yourself. Anyway, I hope these tips work for work politics. It's a slippery slope, man, but yeah, if you can hit people up and communicate, that's the biggest thing. I had this dogman once who was doing this thing that was annoying, man. Every day, it's just annoying. I can't remember what it was. But after like 3 weeks of just going mental in my crane, just going, oh, this dude, I hit him up about it. And he wasn't even conscious he was doing it. And he goes, oh, yeah, man, I can stop doing that. And then I was like, well, is there anything I'm not doing that's annoying? And he's like, yeah, man, you do this, it's annoying. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I'll stop doing that. And then we became good friends. And instantly he stopped doing that annoying thing. And all it took was me hitting him up about it. Oh, if I just did this on day one, you know what I mean? So hit people up, communicate. That will fix things at work. And if it doesn't, if it's really bad, you're probably in a toxic company. And that's my next video. How you know you're in a toxic company and you've got to leave. But I'll leave that to the next one. It's been long enough. Like these videos, subscribe here. Dales Riggin and Crane Tips. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. That is. Oh yeah, yeah. That sounds better. All right, guys. Laters.